Hi everyone, this is English and I'm Lan. Customs and traditions in Kyrgyzstan. Okay, Kyrgyzstan. So, first, cuisine. Cuisine is a style of cooking. Collocation, we can say here nationality and then the word cuisine. For example, Kyrgyz cuisine. Figurative is used not with their basic meaning but with a more imaginative meaning in order to create a special effect. Collocation, figurative meaning. The figurative meaning of the word. The figurative meaning of a word. Dough is flour mixed with water and often yeast, fat or sugar so that it's ready for baking. Collocation, bread dough. She kneaded the dough and left it to rise. Beverage, a drink of any type. Beverage is a drink of any type. It could be tea, water, or another tea, coffee. Collocation, hot or cold beverage. Try not to have cold beverage. Mare or mare. Mare is an adult female horse. Ancient is more of or from a long time ago, having lasted for a very long time. For example, if you look at this photo, there are pyramids in it. So these are ancient things. Defining relative clauses: who, which, where. The man who drinks kumuz will live 100 years. Soft pillows which are set along the edge. You're where the Kyrgyz used to live. It aids digestion, that is important. So, who, which, that. Define relative clauses. I want you to read this sentence. 1 to 3. And you can see here the words in bold, green bold. Who, that, which, where, whose. Well, we use defining relative clause to give essential information about a person. Essential stands for like important information that you should use. So we use the relative pronoun who for people, which for things and animals, and where for the places. We can use that instead of who and which. We use whose to mean of who of which. 3. In some relative clauses, the verb after who, which, or that has different subject. She's the girl who I met on this train. The subject of met is I. In this clause, who, which, or that can be omitted. She's the girl I met on the train. Where and whose can never be omitted. Is that the woman dog barks? No, you don't say it this way. Is that the woman whose dog barks? We can omit who, which, that, where if it is the same subject in both clauses. Julia is the woman works in the office with me? No. Julia is the woman who works in the office with me. And non-defined relative clauses, well, here we've got the same words, which, who, where, whose. Unless defining relative clauses, okay. So we use non-defining relative clause to give extra information. It's not important here in the sentence. If this clause is omitted, the sentence will still make sense. That means you can understand this sentence. This painting is worth millions of pounds. Non-defined relative clauses must go between commas or comma and full stop. In these clauses, we can't leave out the relative pronoun. It means we cannot omit them. We must use them. Unlike defining relative clauses, in these clauses, we can't use that instead of who or which. This painting that was painted in 1860? No. This painting, which was painted in 1860, is worth millions of pounds. Now, please take your time. I'll give you 1 minute to complete the sentence with who, which, where, or whose. Please go. You have a minute. Number 1. Rob and Karina, who have twins, often need a babysitter. 2. Downing Street, where the British Prime Minister lives, is in central London. 3. The sandwich which you made me for lunch was delicious. 4. The woman who lived here before us was a writer. 5. David Bowie, whose songs inspired us for nearly 50 years, died in 2016. 6. My computer is a lot faster than the one which I used to have. And 7. The Mona Lisa, which has been damaged several times, is now displayed behind glass. 8. Look, that's the woman whose dog bit me last week. 9. On our last holiday, we visited Stratford-upon-Avon, where Shakespeare was born. 10. We all went to the match except Angela, who doesn't like football. And now I want you to take where you can use that instead of who and which. Please, you have 30 seconds. Go. So, starting first, that you can use the words in this third sentence instead of which. So you can say, the sandwich that you made for lunch was delicious. The same for. The woman that lived here before us was a writer. And number 6, my computer is a lot faster than the one which I used to have. So you can say, than the one that I used to have. Fascinating. And now I'll give you 40 seconds to put commas where necessary. Please go. So this is the place where, so number 1, this is the place, comma, where John crashed his car. So 2, the castle that we visited yesterday was amazing. There's no comma at all. We don't use comma. You remember, because when we have that, we cannot put comma, or when we have commas, we cannot use that. 3, Beijing, comma, which is one of the world's biggest cities, comma, has population of over 25 million. 4. Adele's 25, which was released in 2015, is one of the best albums of the last 10 years. 5. These are the shoes, which I am wearing to the wedding tomorrow. Number 6. Sally and Joe, who got married last year, are expecting their first baby. Now, please, take your time and read the question, and then please, I'll show the text, and then you'll have to answer them. Number 1, choose the best title name that describes the text. A. Nature and animals in Kyrgyzstan. B. Kyrgyz composers. C. Kyrgyz cuisine. 2. What is in borsuk? A. Meat. B. Honey. C. Nothing. 3. Besh parmak is translated as 5 people, 5 fingers, 5 dancers. Okay then, please read the text and prepare your answers. You have 1 minute. Alright, we'll continue. So, the best title that can describe the text is it A. Nature and animals in Kyrgyzstan? Or B. Kyrgyz composers? Or C. Kyrgyz cuisine? Well, definitely it's about Kyrgyz cuisine. 2. What is in borsuk? Is there a meat? Is there honey? Or none of the above? C. None of the above. Fascinating. 3. Besh parmak is translated as A. 5 people. B. 5 fingers. C. 50 dancers. That's definitely B. 5 fingers. Okay. Now you will have to read the text one more and then do the task true, false. Please, 1 minute. Go. Please do the task. Mark the sentence true or false from 1 all the way to 10. Please go. Start. 1 minute. Check them all together. Number 1, traditionally the Kyrgyz use round tables. That's false. 2, they usually sit cross-legged. That's true. 3, dasturkhan is kind of cloth. True. 4, dasturkhan also means a meal or dinner. That's true. 5, they serve borsok with butter. No. Number 6, kumuz is a drink from cow milk. No, false. In Manas epic, it says, kumuz is a man's power and fresh air is his friend. That's false. A cup of kumuz is relaxing and an appetizer. That's true. Beshbarmak is usually made from cow meat. That's false. Chuchuk is meat within horse intestines. True. Oh, great. And now we'll continue with... Right now, I want you guys to watch a video about a piece of tradition about Kyrgyz people and then answer the questions.
Introducing supara, we begin by spreading out the different types of meat and placing as the centerpiece beshbarmak, and the dish is ready. Beshbarmak, a traditional nomadic cuisine, means 5 fingers. This meat product made from lamb entrails is called bhaji. Within the entrails we insert liver, rice, verdure and spices. These ingredients are usually ground in a meat chopper, boiled for 3 hours in a cauldron and then served. Traditions of slaughtering a sheep. This meat portion is called jambash, meaning tailbone. It's served only to the guest of honor, along with the sheep's head. Next is another called jota-jilik. It is the fleshiest portion of the sheep's carcass and is served only to the oldest person seated at the table. We will now demonstrate the traditional method of cutting a sheep's head into pieces. We begin by cutting off the right ear, which is then offered to the youngest person in attendance to create a sense of obedience within him. Then we pluck out the eyes, cut one in half and present it to the guest of honor to share with the person he wishes to meet most regularly. This person could be another guest in attendance or the master of the residence. The Kyrgyz excellent cuisine that is paramount in all of Central Asia's cultures is extensively influenced by the nomadic history. Herein, you can tickle your taste buds with exquisitely prepared exotic gourmet dishes while learning the history of the ancient traditional customs of the Kyrgyz nation.
Okay, so can you please answer the questions now? You'll have 1 minute to answer the questions. Please go. Let's answer them all together. Number 1, which traditional cuisine food means 5 fingers? Well, it's beshbarmak. 2, what is bhaji made from? Liver, rice, spice, etc. 3, which portion is served only to the oldest person? Joko-jilik. 4, what part of this sheep's head is cut off first? Right ear. Is this sentence true or false? You can taste exotic gourmet dishes and learn about history. That's true. Now, this time please, you'll have to read a short text again and then answer the questions. what is kookaburra? And 2, what is it like? Please read. You have 1 minute. Okay, so what's kookaburra and what is it like? 1, it's like a horse football, but a carcass is used instead of a ball. 2, what is it like? It's like horseball in Europe. And this time you should read this text all over again one more very carefully and then do the task on the next slide. There's some questions that you should answer. Please read. You'll have 1 minute. Answering the questions. 1. What's the different name for kookaburra? 2. Who played kookaburra first? 3. Where is it played? And 4. What's the aim of the team? 5. Can you name the game that's similar to kookaburra in Europe? 6. What kind of world games involves kookaburra? You please prepare your answers. 30 seconds. Alright, answering the questions. Number 1. The different name for kookaburra is Ulakchabush. 2. Who played kookaburra first? Ancient nomadic people. 3. Where is it played? In Central Asian countries. 4. What's the aim of the team? To throw the carcass of an animal in the opponent's goal. 5. Can you name the game that's similar to kookaburra in Europe? Horseball. What kind of world games involves kookaburra? World Nomad Games. Fascinating. Well, let's call it a day. I'll see you next time.